Hey folks, this certainly has been a rocky process getting into the VTubing shenanigan stuff. So I just wanted to pop on here real quick, make a showcase for my model, show her off, smile, do her toggles. Oh, wait, where's her fourth toggle? There it is. Showcase her a little bit, do stuff like that, and detail just the nightmare scenario that's gone into having this process be done. Uh, at the end, like I just showed her off a little bit there, but at the end, I'll do the full body showcase because she is a full body. She's not just a waist body or whatnot. But I just wanted to detail the process that went into this, the year or two or whatnot, however you count it. So way back in May of 2024, yeah, quite a chunk of time ago, I saw a short from some guy named Renrose on YouTube. He's just some VTuber dude, some Australian VTuber dude, who had a short that I saw where he's talking about how you can get into VTuber, the ways you can get into it. You need a high-end computer, you need an agency who will accept you, you need a professional high-class model, you need people willing to do collaborations with you. You basically need all this high-end gated stuff to get into it. So he ends the short by saying, so if you want to get into it, don't. That is an absolutely awful fucking thing to say, as especially as an online personality when you have people who do look up to you, because that's just kind of what happens. That is an awful thing to say to people. Way back in the day, before YouTube was YouTube, like before YouTube was modern day YouTube, there was a website called Something Awful. And on Something Awful, there was a guy by the name of Slow Beef. That was his user handle, Slow Beef. And he did the first recorded case of a Let's Play. It was like a forum document where he would update it like I think he updated it every week, every other day, I don't remember. But it was just a Let's Play of Metroid Prime 1. He would give screenshots, he would give text breakdowns of what he's doing, little commentary, tidbits, just stuff like that. It was a Let's Play. He got a lot of people into gaming and involved with that, and more people started doing that after him. He started teaching people, he was teaching people how he did it, he was communicating with people. Because he was so open and enjoying doing what he was doing, more people got into it. They then took it over to YouTube when YouTube started letting people just upload their own videos. They took it to YouTube and had a field day with it. I don't know if you remember this, YouTube used to only be for music. And even then, after they let people start making their own videos, it had like what was it, like a 3-minute time limit? They then upped it to 10 minutes. And then they updated it to like an hour and then just infinite if you have your account be verified. YouTube started implementing advertisements. They started introducing the ability to be monetized. Like, YouTube is what it is today, theoretically because of Slowbeef and his introductions into Let's Plays and all that, because they kind of took YouTube by storm. So for this jackass to sit there and be like, well, in order to do it, you need to have the highest quality, highest class stuff, and so if you want to do it, you should just give up because you're not going to do it well. After some guy just invents it for, randomly, like that's a horrible fucking thing. So it pissed me off to no end. And for some reason, spite took over, and wanted to basically just get into it and see how quick it is, how easy it is, showcase how simple it is to get into VTubing. It really is. So in June, yeah, So before June 1st, 2024, because that's when the first video using the 3D model happened, I downloaded Vroid and its 14 add-ons. It's actually, I think, 3, but because you need the maker, the studio, the clothing thing. I don't know, it's weird. The editor. So before June 1st, I did that. Recorded Super Mario RPG on June 1st, 2024, and uploaded that as a series. I had a few failed recordings after that, but that was my first recorded case of getting into the Let's Play stuff. I then went and downloaded, like, I was like, oh, that's cool, but the 3D stuff's kind of janky. So I went and I downloaded Booth models. There's a website called Booth. I'll link it in the description. If you filter the 2D assets by free, there's a bunch of free models on there. There's some really high quality, high class models on there for free. You just load up the app. They work perfectly fine. That is an amazing thing. The people over there are incredibly generous. Like, it is phenomenal how generous those people are. A lot of them are rigged as well. If not, a lot of them have tutorials on how you can rig them yourself. It's not hard. Again, more generosity of people helping people get into this type of hobby. I love it and I find it amazing. I gotta find the properties for the one image before I can give the details on it. So, after using Booth models for a chunk of time, I proceeded to want to get my own identity. I wanted my own identity. So, I'm only going to count the day the model was created, which was March 14th. It did take about a week and a half to create, and you could count that June 1st, 2024 as the first date that I started trying to do the stuff, but I'm personally going to count when I first got my PNG, because that was the first time I started to actually get my own identity. Kinda. That's when my character started to become my character and wasn't just borrowed from people. So March 14th, 2025, I got this character. We have been through hell and back with this character. Mean comments, annoying shit with the artist. But for the most part, this was my first character. The spikes, the cloth clothing, the pink hair. The later versions are going to keep a lot of those details, but just tweak them and make them better. This was just, as I said, my first character. I did Half-Life with this, I did SpongeBob with this, I did quite a bit of Let's Plays with this one. Diablo 3, I did a lot of stuff. This is my first step into it. I then, a number of months later in June, wanted to get a new outfit for her. I should actually probably add the image to the screen if I'm going to talk about it. I wanted to get a new image for her, like a new outfit. Just have like a collection of outfits of the same character, but nothing really different. Just so, I can have that giant collection. Where's the... Oh, yeah, it's in that folder. Okay, just loaded up the image so I can quickly pop it up. But I wanted to get just a bunch of outfits for her, and, I could swap between them depending on what I'm feeling. I can, have like one for Dark Souls, have one for this, have one for that, etc., etc. Holy shit, the process that went into getting this outfit was a nightmare, and I eventually canceled in, like, the end of October. So remember, I commissioned on June 3rd. Or not June 3rd, sorry, July 3rd. So July, September, August, and July, August, September, and all of October, just about. It was like 98 days. Trying to get this outfit made. The artist fucked everything up you could feasibly fuck up in any process. The tone was different, the skin color was different, the details suck. I kept asking for changes. I kept asking for things to be fixed. She never did. It was goddamn annoying and awful. The process was a nightmare. Like, I mean, just look at this. It's same artist too, but it's not even the same detail quality. So I eventually threw it away. I was like, yeah, the breaking point actually I detailed in Twilight Princess. The breaking point was I asked for the face to be fixed because if I think this was the broken face, yeah, no, this is not the broken face, but she has there's one where the face is busted and like it looks really stupid. So I asked for that to be fixed and all this stuff, and then asked if the old iframe, like I detail this in Twilight Princess, but there was a giant dilemma with the iframes and all that. Eventually, she changed something, but she changed something with a broken frame that was fixed previously. So I just said, yeah, I'm done. I give up. This is like each step is taking like 3 goddamn weeks or like 2 weeks. You're not listening to anything I'm saying. This is nowhere near the same quality as this. So I canceled and all that. But during that process, I took and one, I talked to an artist by the name of Honey Days to get a live 2D model made. I'll talk about that story in a second. But during that process with this failed image, I got a chibi made. And this chibi has kind of been what you've seen on the channel quite a bit. So if you can tell, oh, wrong image. They're kind of the same character. Just cheapify. This one doesn't have the cloth. This one doesn't have the underboob, which is weird because one of the earlier images I have of her does have the underboob. Because this artist, for some reason, anytime I would ask for one thing to be tweaked, she would change something else. So if you notice the mouth spikes, how they're just randomly going up when she blinks, despite this one, the mouth spikes only opening or going up when she's talking. It's really silly. So there's that, and yeah, I like the chibi. I've kept the chibi for a while. Uh, there was some details that went into this, some annoyances, but this one was fine and dandy throughout the process, and this is what I have kept the entire time. During this process of having the chibi and the failed outfit and all that, I I don't remember when the chibi was made. Let me go check really quickly because I can look at the properties of the image. Because thank God for Windows 11 letting you look at the properties of images. Oh man, which file do I have? Is that the? No, that's the broken one earlier. Oh no. Okay, here's the good ones. I just have an archive with all the images, but they're not like dated or anything like that. October 6th is when the cheap was created. So yeah, I guess the beginning of our actually I know so yeah, the end of October is when I canceled the other one because I had the chibi done well before. Actually no. No, yeah, this version of the chibi was done after I canceled, but the first version of the chibi was done well before. I actually have the first version of the chibi because it took a couple revisions. October, yeah, October 2nd. So somewhere between that time, the actual other outfit was canceled. But I've had this for a long time. I like it. It's cool. There are some issues with it, but whatever. During the process, I was also contacting an artist by the name of Honey Days. I detail this in a future Batman part called Honey Fueled Rant. But I had a massive issue about having the live 2D model made. Not this one. This one's made by a different artist. But holy shit, this honey person, man. Where the hell do I even begin? I contact them and I ask about the model, or ask about having a model made. And she's like, oh, okay. Uh, Like I can do, because they always, the artists are always stupid because they'll always do like bust up for $40, half body 300, because they give you like 400,000 extra shit things that you don't need. So I asked her, like, how much without all the fluff and just for the model? She goes, oh, for just the model it would be 70. I said, ooh, okay, that's a little steep. That's a little higher than my price range, because that's like 150 Canadian. She goes, oh, okay, I can lower it down to 65 for you. Actually, I don't know about the for 70. The original gig USD is 150, and she dropped it. She said she cut it in half. So I presume it was one, or I presume it was 75. So maybe she knocked $10 off. I don't know. But she said she can give me a discount and knocked the price down to 65. Pay attention to when I say she gave a discount. I'll come back in a moment. So we're detailing that, and she offers the discount, and I'm like, oh, okay, that works. That's 120 Canadian, but whatever. That's acceptable to some extent, given how it's a half body of mediocre quality. Sure. Wait till the end of the month. We set up the purchase, and I tell her, I go, actually, I'm not going to be able to purchase this until probably December, given how expensive it is. We also discussed having it rigged by her for the same price. So she said, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can pay in December. December, my brother gets a yearly check. He gets a yearly price or pay boost. So it's like, okay, I'll borrow like $200, and I can do the model thing with that. He's offered, so like whatever, like that's fine. I don't mind waiting until December. Then the chibi was made and all that, and again, discount. She was giving me a discount. So uh, during the time with the PNG or chibi being made, the artist asked me when it was done. She said, "Hey, do you need anything else?" Because during this time, I also had where are they? I also had emotes made. So I did have like some emotes made from the character, and yeah, look, you can even tell because this one was made with the older image, so it still has the underboob. But then this one was made after the revision. It's really weird. I think my favorite one is probably the sadness one. I think that's just cute. Yeah, again, the underboob. But she she asked me at the end of it, she goes, "Hey, is there anything else you need? Like I can do backgrounds, I can do logos, I can do models." I said, "Oh no, I'm good on everything like that. I already have a model being set up to be made." I said, I already have a quote for a model, and I'll pay for that at the end. I pay for that at a certain point. She goes, "Oh, okay. What what price were you quoted? Maybe I can price match it and give you a cheaper service before that." Not price match, but like price acknowledge. I go, okay, yeah. She gave me a half body for 60, and then the rigging for 60. I lied a little bit. It was actually 65, but I fibbed a little bit. The artist offered uh, 50 for a full body. Pretty damn good. That's 92 Canadian. It's not too bad. So I go with her as we're going with that one, and I'm setting up the purchase. The honey person contacted me and was like, "Hey, look, I just want to check up on you and make sure that you're still good to purchase at the end of the month and at the end of the year." This was, I think, like towards the end of October. It's really stupid, but oh well. I said, "Yeah, no, I'm actually going to go with someone else. I get more for less." Of course, they started insulting the quality, and it's like, "Well, if you ever want to go for a professional option, you can always come back to me." It's like, okay, fine, fuck you. Uh, the discount is still on the table, she said. Again, discount. Uh, I have the model made. The model's being made. The model finishes. It's not this yet, but I do have an image of just this one of like the hey, look, you finished the gig thing. Uh, and then it goes on to rigging. Holy hell, this rigging. She screwed something up so the model like is unable to move no matter what input she gives it. There is glitches and errors with it. At some point, the file deleted itself off of her computer. I have no clue how, because that doesn't make any sense to me. There was. She sent the rig and it was corrupted. During the process, she just became very rude towards the end, so I had to cancel the rig. Like, there was a whole goddamn nightmare scenario with this goddamn rig. Like, it was like it was like 2 months of. Yeah, because the rigging started at the beginning of December. I canceled at the end of February, or at the like middle point of February. It was like February 10th is when I had to cancel it. It was like 70 days of just being jerked around a bush. It was really annoying. She started getting rude at the end. She broke up the model in a weird way. So in order to have it rigged by anyone else in the future, I would have to pay money to have it split further because she just didn't split the eyes or anything like that, which is really annoying. I'll detail that in the later part, but like that was all just super annoying shit. So after all that, I canceled and all that. I had to go to another artist, rig mama or whatever the hell people call them. They have this one rigged. I like it. Of course, I'm not very like movable. I just noticed that when I look up, her blush goes away. That's actually kind of annoying. But oh well. Uh, all that happened. But during the time with the rigging, back to that honey, I found on Fiverr. I was looking for like just PNG images to be made, like celebratory images, because I wanted to like announce getting 1,000 videos uploaded. So I found someone advertising that Honey Days' artwork as his own. With my due diligence, because I kind of knew the artist, and this was after I canceled with them, so I kind of felt like I owed them. I contacted her and I was like, hey, look, someone is using your art as his own. We worked together for a week and we, finally had Fiverr take them down. It took way too goddamn long. Fucking cats jumping off the top rope in the bathroom, just about. Goddamn cat just likes to get up on as high as it can and then just leap. Fucking annoying. But after about a week, we got the artist taken down for content theft and all that. I was baiting them into like them ignoring the evidence and proof and all that, and all this stuff. But then I asked the person or asked that honey about full body or about body art because she was doing just regular images, detailed images. I got price quotes and all that stuff. She offered a discount because she said it was full body for 80, half for 60, bust for 40. So I said, okay, yeah, no, those prices are a little high for me. She says, oh, okay, well, I can offer you a discount. I mentioned that her prices were high, like 12 times afterwards, and she never offered the discount again. So I just, at the end, I don't remember how I broached it, but at the end, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to have to go find another artist because, like, yours is just a bit too expensive for me. She was, oh, well, we can always talk about lowering the price. I said, yeah, you mentioned being able to give a discount, but you refused to offer one. So, like, I just figured you didn't want to do the same art for cheap. She responded with, "Oh well, I wouldn't have been doing the same art for cheap." Excuse, pardon? She said, "Yeah, I would have downgraded you to the next package down." I said, "Wait, hang on. You offered me a discount though." "Oh, but I don't do discounts." What? What do you mean you don't do discounts? Back with the live 2D model, you offered to do the half body for 65. Down from like the 70 or 80 it could have been. She said, "Oh yeah, no. When I offer, I use the word discount incorrectly. What I do is I lower the package to the next to the next tier when I offer price cuts. I said, wait, hang on. So for 65, I would have gotten a bust up? Yes, that is correct. For 65, I would have gotten a bust up. The thing that you charge 40 USD for. Yes, that is correct. I said, so I would have paid 25 extra for a worse piece of art than I could have just gotten for paying an extra like $5. Oh, well, I don't lower the quality or anything like that. I just cut whatever corners I can to have the quality match the price. I said, then yeah, you would be lowering the quality. That is what that is. She goes, oh, okay, well, can we discuss your budget and maybe we could talk about getting you the appropriate piece of art? I said, no, I'm not going to give you my budget because you are actively trying to rip me off. For $40, I can get a bust up, but you're telling me that this highly exclusive offer, this discount to me for 65 gets me the same thing that 25 or that 40 would have. That is a ripoff, and I'm not going to be scammed. I'm not going to be given my budget, and I just pissed off. I was like, yeah, no, fuck off. I'm not dealing with you. That is a scam shit, and I'm not doing it. So, after all of that, after 26 goddamn minutes, I can now actually show off the model. Just in full. She is my face. I did have her face set up to be neutral. So, because just my face is neutral. Because I'm very, as you can tell by my voice, I'm very emotionless. So, it's kind of how she moves. Just looking down, looking up. I have some toggles. I have one that just causes her to smile. I love her little mouth spikes. Her mouth spikes, they bend down when the mouth opens. Unless she smiles. Then they point up. I think that is adorable. I have a confusion. Toggle. I do have one that just kind of locks her face to being sad. Just lowers her mouth slightly. Yeah, get right in the camera. And then I have this one. Heart eyes and a weird smile. I had an anger and a smile toggle before that kind of gave her a like a yandere face when I activated them at the same time. So I just said fuck it and I just had that toggled. I like it. I find it funny. But yeah, this is the model. I'll showcase the full body. Yeah, boobies. Yeah, hold on. Let's do that real quick. Let's zoom in on her titties because it's fucking YouTube V modeling. Yeah, look at this. Because you know that's the golden standard for a model nowadays. Look, actually being a quality or like content creator, boobies is where it's at. But yeah, she turns, she moves. I love how the lean. Like I can turn normally, and she does turn to some extent, but then the lean. It's just a little hip wiggle. It's just a hip check. She does kind of just float, but I actually really like that. So, yeah, for the most part, this is my new model, and I love it. I'm content with it. I'm going to have people insulting it. I do know that for a fact. Because it is kind of simplistic. But at the end of the day, it's not just some generic Fox girl VTuber model, so I'm perfectly fine. People who insult it because of that can go fuck themselves. So, anyway, I'm going to be done here. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.